Rachel Nagle with Adventurous Heart, and to continue our series on different meals you can prepare at home and cook in the backcountry, in addition to the boil in the bag methods, to add a little more creativity, we're going to talk about some pasta dishes you can prepare. I have an Orzo Alfredo as well as a Primo Rose pasta dish. I'm going to talk about these two the same because depending on how you're feeling, you can intermix the types of pasta. So I have angel hair pasta in this particular one. Angel hair packs up pretty small, doesn't take up too much room in your bear canister, and it cooks relatively fast. In this one I have Orzo. So Orzo, again, another type of pasta that fits small in your bear canister and cooks pretty quickly as well. So we have the pasta in here. To spice it up, you can add dried veggies. I happen to have carrots in both of these, and then corn in addition in the angel hair pasta, and then you can choose whichever type of sauce you want. So I have Alfredo sauce. It's just a powdered sauce that you would get from the store, kind of like the McCormick or Knorr or any type that you see. So a powdered sauce, again, Alfredo in here, and a Parma Rose in this one, so basically a red pasta sauce. If you don't want to use the powdered, you can also get a Boboli pizza sauce that's already in the liquid form. It just adds a little weight. If you go with the powdered like I have here, I would encourage you to also add a powdered milk. In addition to that, you can add some type of meat. In the Alfredo, I have a freeze-dried chicken, and then in the Parma Rose, I have a sausage. You can see how I've packaged these. They're slightly different, and I'll tell you which one is better. So the Orzo, I have the pasta mixed with the dried veggies, and then I would also put the dried chicken in here. Before I left, I didn't realize the chicken took so long. I put the chicken in with the sauce, so the chicken might be a little bit crunchy still, but we'll work with it. In the future though, I'd put the dried chicken, anything that's freeze-dried, in with the pasta so it has more time to cook, and then add the sauce. You can see I would again separate it in this one, kind of the learning curve. You don't want to put the sauce in with the freeze-dried. You want the freeze-dried items in with the pasta. So with that said, we're going to move ahead with cooking the Orzo. So I have the carrots and the Orzo, and this is a 2-serving meal. So 2 people, 495 calories each. So around 1,000 calories in this bag. I have 4 ounces of pasta, whichever type you prefer, plus carrots, and all of it's in the menu that's here as well. So I have about a half cup of dried veggies in here as well. As noted before, it takes a while for the freeze-dried to be able to prepare. So you can see I have the Orzo and the carrots. I'm going to add about 2.5 cups of water, or 20 ounces. And typically you bring your pasta to a boil, but it needs more time to rehydrate with the freeze-dried. So I'm going to go ahead and just put all of the water in here, 20 ounces pre-measured out, so it can continue. And then I'm going to go ahead and put it on the stove and bring it to a low boil. Once it's boiling, I'm going to let it boil long enough for the Orzo to be able to be tender. Then we'll add the sauce. So because I'm getting ready for the stove, I'm going to make sure I'm in the ready position, so just in case anything happens. So again, I'm using a butane stove in a steel pot. Whatever type of stove you have, whichever type of pot you have, it will work for what you need. This just happens to be what I have out here. It is day 13 on the John Muir Trail, so this is live in the field. We will be eating this tonight, so I'm sure it will turn out just great. If not, we'll eat it anyway. Alright, so start our stove. Again, nice level stove. Make sure there's nothing on the bottom of your pot. Nice and stable. Alright, so I'm going to let this on just a kind of a low temperature so that it has time to soak again the freeze-dried vegetables that are in there, and then we'll go ahead and wait. It'll probably take about 5 minutes for a slow boil, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so we're going to check it. It's been about 5 minutes getting our low boil, so use your pot grips to remove the lid. So we do have a small boil started, which is perfect. That's what we want. So always use your pot grips whenever you stir it to make sure you're not going to spill it. So we'll give it a nice little stir, and we're going to keep it on this slow boil for another 5 minutes so that the carrots and the pasta can go ahead and get nice and rehydrated. They're still a little crunchy now, so I'm going to give them another 5 minutes on a slow boil covered so that we maintain that water. So when we add the sauce in the chicken, it will continue to rehydrate it. I don't want to add the sauce just yet because if I add the sauce, I'm afraid it will burn. So we'll just get a slow boil maintained for another 5 minutes. Alright, so it's been about 10 to 12 minutes, so the orzo is nice and tender. The carrots are a little crunchy, but they'll continue to be able to soak while I add in the rest of it. So I'm going to turn it down to just a barely on boil. Stove still on. Alright, so then what I'm going to do is with a very small boil, I'm going to go ahead and add the sauce. When you're adding the sauce, you have to be careful that you don't cook it too much because it will start to crystallize or caramelize and burn. So add your sauce, and this one has chicken, but I'd recommend putting the chicken in already. Tuck the trash away so it doesn't blow away. Careful when you're pouring it so no crumbs get out here for our little animal friends. We don't want them to become humanized. Alright, so we'll stir in the sauce. And then we're going to go ahead and continue to simmer it with a very, very light boil. There's plenty of water in there still for about another 4 minutes. And we'll go ahead and cover it because that's about the consistency. I don't want too much water out of here yet. So 4 minutes on a slow boil. During that last 4 minutes of kind of simmering it, you'll want to take the lid off and go ahead and stir it frequently to make sure it doesn't get burnt on the bottom. So you want to make sure it's nice, clean, no burning there. And that way it gets the rest of the water out and creates the best consistency for your pasta. When you feel like everything's blended and it absorbed the way you want it, go ahead and take it off of the heat. Turn off your stove, and I'm actually going to let it set here for about a minute or two because it's nice, hot, and warm so that the chicken can continue to rehydrate, and in 2 minutes it should be ready for a taste test. Alright, so now for the real test to see how it turned out. So we'll go ahead and open it. It's been setting for another 2 minutes. Consistency looks perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little taste test to see how it is, see if we nailed it. So I'm learning, so I'm going to blow on it a second so I don't burn my mouth again. So overall, pretty good. A little crunch on the carrots, which I'm fine with. The chicken, I don't think I got in that bite. Let me find a piece of chicken and see how it turned out. Chicken a little chewy, but again, putting the freeze-dried chicken and with the carrots and the orzo at the beginning will help eliminate that. So great meal on day 13 of the JMT, Orzo Alfredo, or you can try Prima Rosa pasta. Make your blends the way you want, prepare them at home, and enjoy a beautiful, fun, tasting meal while you're out anywhere in the backcountry. I'm Rachel Nagle with Adventurous Heart, and I hope you enjoy all your meals in beautiful places such as these.